Yes, go ahead and make your jokes now. I know you're going to. It's inevitable. I know this crowd. Y'all my people. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes. Now I'd like to welcome you to the other side of midnight. That's right, human being American and YouTuber Ronin. Already in the chat. FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. She of the smoldering avatar Netters Network. The View with Drew, friend of the channel. A name I'm seeing for the first time, Del Campo Productions. Welcome. Lemon Pie. My guests are waiting patiently backstage, so let's not keep them. Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's the Bird Woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary.
Hello.
Yeah, this guy.
I'm gonna rehash the joke. You know, it's this is episode 69, and because we are YouTubers, we are obligated to say nice.
The woman who will be killing me out of anger and spite sometime in the next few minutes. The reason why I know you are all truly here since corner.
Every week, you indicate that I have thoughts of violence towards you.
Well,
This is not representative of me.
wait,
He has
wait
a
a moment.
persecution
Wait a few
complex.
moments. The tired midnight blogger himself, the man who I'm sure is wondering exactly what in the hell he's gotten himself into by coming on my channel. Curtis Selby.
It's all good. I got food. I got my dog.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
All
He's
golden.
changed today.
Wait, those are two different things, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You don't live in
They're
Ohio.
eating the
do you?
cats. They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the pets of the people who
They
live there.
Logical Spark in the house. Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. Thank you both for being here. Welcome. And that was the news.
Yeah, pretty much.
And now
Yeah.
the news. Okay. Okay. Well, where were we? Oh, right. We were taking a huge steaming dump all over James Cameron. So
Yes, we were.
let's kind of catch the 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 chat.
Prepare
up
the
with
shovels.
conversation. Prepare your shovels.
There
And
was
hello to Penzak.
yeah, you know, here, yeah.
Oh.
How close to
Oh.
live to that Springfield thing? I have to wonder if that doesn't spin out of some sort of a meta Simpsons kind of thing. Springfield. I don't know. Just a thought that passed through my head. But has anyone seen Santa's Little Helper recently? Yeah. There was a
Go ahead.
huh?
Logical Spark is pointing out that Alf would eat the cats.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes,
he
he would.
also had a very stereotypical Jewish accent, so we can't make fun of him at all.
Oh, there you
Off
go.
limits. Release the house.
Release that.
Yes, we were talking about this in the backdrop.
Yes, you brought this article to my attention. Yeah.
I started out talking about this on my stream on Friday because my stream was about remakes and not the way you generally think of them. Remakes aren't always bad, or historically haven't always been bad. Sometimes the remakes actually surpass the original. And we talked about a couple of examples of that, and then we talked about some films and franchises that we think are due for a remake, not in modern Hollywood, but theoretically. But we started out with this article because James Cameron came out saying that he's got plans for the future of the Terminator franchise, and part of his plan is to completely throw it all out and start over again. Now, Sin and I were very much in agreement, and don't let me speak for you. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that neither one of us trusts Cameron with anything. But I said that I thought that the idea was sound if it's not him, if it's someone competent, because I feel like the Terminator has gone so far off the rails, and the original story could benefit from updating because of all of the robotic and AI, advancement that we've had, that they could kind of work into the story. But one thing that he says here, new Terminator stories will focus on core principles without relying on old iconography. And I immediately took that to mean we don't need Arnold Schwarzenegger or any other particular person for every single film. I think that's been a big part of what's kind of hampered the series.
I don't know. I just wish maybe he should just come up with some completely different thing and not even connect it with the Terminator.
What?
He can't. He can't let this stuff go.
Coming up with something new?
The only new thing he's going to do is a story about blue aliens. Oh no, wait a minute, that's not new.
Don't that.
Me, I liked Ferngully.
Yeah, good point. The Smurfs.
Dances with Smurfs.
Mm-hmm.
Dances with Smurfs.
Smurfs.
Yeah.
Yes, that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you are really traumatized by that episode, aren't you, Mark?
I think so.
Yeah.
Blue balls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Howdy, Darth Plato. Kill the past if you have to.
Yes. Hello, Darth Plato.
Yeah, I get that.
I was it, Darth.
I get that, Darth Plato, and that's probably exactly what which is ironic because it's his own past, So, I mean, if we're going to go down that route, well, you're an old white guy, so you shouldn't have any say in this at all. We need to erase you entirely. But, put that aside. I'm not saying forget the Terminator, but I do think it's time that when you get to the point that we have with like Halloween, and we've done this with Terminator as well, where it becomes a choose your own adventure kind of situation. It is time to step away and start over with a cohesive narrative if you want to do anything with that franchise ever again. But, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? It's done. We're done.
I agree. I wish that's what they would do. As much as I miss Arnold in the role, they really just haven't been up to the same quality as the first two. Every other one he's been in.
And I was going to say, do you really want to see Arnold at his age still trying to play this role?
No.
Yeah, I think it's.
No, it's just sad. It's actually just sad.
I'll
At this
admit
point,
yeah.
And I
Yeah,
love
I mean-
Arnold. I'm not saying
Same here.
I'm not besmirching him at all, but it's
what he needs to do at this point in time is do more of these character bits like he was doing, like Maggie, like Aftermath.
Hmm.
Maybe every once in a while do something like Sabotage to like
What
for his
I
old
want
fame.
James Cameron to do is another True Lies with Arnold as an older secret agent, maybe on his final
Yeah.
mission.
That would
You
be
know?
brilliant.
Or King Conan. I would love to see a King Conan with him as, he's an older guy on his throne. Maybe his
Alita
son
2.
challenges him. I would love
Mhm.
Alita too.
Well, isn't Alita 2 happening now?
Well, I don't know.
Didn't
Is
I-
it officially? There's always rumbles
I've
about
never
the
heard
possibility.
anything official
I haven't
about
heard anything confirmed, which is a real bummer
No?
because I enjoyed the heck out of that movie.
it. I loved it.
It was really good.
And hello
I think-
to Jessica Hardo and John Doe Juggalo has joined us. Hello.
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 After MASH.
After MASH, yeah. D. Penzak asking, why did the film's number 3 on go off the rails? Was it a story issue or a Cameron issue?
Well, Cameron kind of stepped away, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He didn't direct. He didn't direct anymore.
And number 3 is one, and I do this with a lot of these long running franchises. There's movies in the series that, oh yeah, that was a terrible movie, but then some of the ones after it are so bad.
It makes
But
that
you-
one look good.
Yeah, and I think if you revisit number 3, it's not that bad.
It's
There's
okay. Yeah,
a lot of
it's
good
just
things about it that I think we've forgotten about.
it's not as it's not up to par, but it came after T2, which are really big shoes to fill.
Right on. I thought the female Terminator was hot.
She was okay.
You-
I mean, she was all right. I wasn't overly impressed with her performance. And it
And
was really
hello.
unfortunate that Edward Furlong wasn't back.
That is true, actually.
Right.
Hello,
Joining us in the
everybody.
panel,
Woo!
Welcome, Outlaw
my
Bill.
partner in
Hey,
crime,
Joe.
Outlaw Bill.
Hello, everybody. I was having fun calling to some NFL football Sunday night football.
Oh, football's happening?
Yeah.
DJ Ronnie G has joined us in the chat.
And Bill, go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, DJ.
And our man from the future, Sashi.
Hey, Sashi!
I am now effectively running the Outlaw Bill Sports Network, the Ocho,
Nice.
Right on.
Oh,
calling football games.
You haven't missed much, Sashi. We were just bashing James Cameron.
And he
And Jim's
deserves it.
Landscape. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. And Space Fraggles here. Right on.
Sweet.
hey, Space.
Bill, I promise not to sing any Disturbed on this panel.
Mark
read.
Mounikoff saying, the one thing I don't recall ever seeing in the franchise is Terminators being made. Well, they
We
go
saw that in 3,
briefly
didn't we?
into that in
Salvation.
Salvation, yeah.
Okay.
And very briefly in that little teeny tiny amazing promo clip before T2 came out.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Oh, I hear a kitty cat.
Kitty cat.
Here,
Yeah,
kitty
my
cat.
cat.
Here, kitty, kitty.
Cats are not food.
Cassie, it's okay. We're not going to eat the cat. No, we're not going to eat the cat.
No.
Get the camera around here and all.
Yeah.
I'll pass on the more adult joke.
Oh, don't.
Yes.
I know where you were going. Yeah,
see.
definitely. Yeah.
They're eating the dog.
Good, good,
They're eating
good.
the cat.
Good pass on that one, Troy.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Oh, my
They're
cat
eating
just
the
wants
pet
attention.
of the people who live there.
The cat's safe again.
Yeah, exactly.
Cats are overlords, not AI.
Have you seen the Gadsden flag with a cat instead of a snake? Don't snack
No.
on me.
No, I haven't seen that. That's funny.
She's
Let's
playing.
see,
My cat's playing with a little plastic cup.
Oh,
Aw,
doggy.
adorable.
Hey, doggy. Oh.
There's Cassie,
Hello.
Face.
my
Look at the
overpaid
face.
assistant who shares all the news with me.
Oh.
That look
What
is
a
like,
sweetie.
are we doing this again? Really?
Yes, she's right here at my feet.
Yes,
Poor
yes, we
dog.
are.
Aw.
But Dad,
Aw.
Dad, why aren't you petting or feeding me? Why are you streaming? What's up with you?
All right. There was a question in the chat that I wanted to go back to real quick. Jessica Harder says, I'm so glad James Cameron didn't make Jurassic Park because nobody would get a 4K to her day.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, Jurassic
Yeah.
Park is another one that's kind of gone off the rails as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
And I even liked the third movie, and nobody likes that one. But, I mean, to me, it's the first one and the third one, and me, honestly, I can stop there. But that's me when it comes to Jurassic Park. I'm kind of done with the franchises. I mean, that's the thing. Do I want to see another Jurassic Park movie? No. Do I want to see another Terminator? No. Do I want to see another Alien movie? Hell no. I mean, I'm just kind of done with franchises. I mean, it's
there
time
used
for
to be-
somebody new to come along.
There was a time, and we can debate when this time ended, but there was a time when sequels were considered a bad thing in Hollywood. The idea of a Hollywood, the idea of a sequel was cringe-inducing, and I feel like that changed with The Godfather 2. The Godfather 2 basically told people, yeah, sequels are okay. And I'm not opposed to that message, but you have to know when to stop. When to say the story has been told, time to walk away.
that's the thing. There's some people that don't.
And hello, Jesse Green.
I do like how Darth Plato thinks. I want to see all those franchises because I want to hear you guys roast them all. Yeah, there have been a number of channels that have said that. It's like, who was it who said Brie Larson is what made my channel, so keep it up, Brie.
I did a live stream one time on my channel, and the subject was movies that deserve a remake. Movies that deserve a remake, and there are a few. Like I think that the mindset should be. I can't remember if we've talked about it before on this chat, but remaking bad movies instead of remaking good ones.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
That was part of the there was a couple of things that I said about remakes, what you'd have to do or what you can't do. If a movie is classic enough that it's universally loved, there's no reason to make a sequel, or to make a remake of it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, agree.
And I said things like The Wizard of Oz, Back to the Future. These are films that nobody wants to see remade. Ghostbusters.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
And when you tried it, look what happened.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of films that were good. They weren't terrible. They were good. But you look at that and go, that was some real missed potential. We can do better. The basic story is sound. Let's redo it. And we looked at a couple that actually were
right,
really
Sashi.
good.
Agree.
The Crow, yeah.
That's
All
the
they
damn
had to do with The Crow was just
that's-
change the names.
Just make it
Don't
another
call
person.
them American Shelley. Just make it a completely different. I mean, they
Yeah.
do make it a different character. Just give them different names. And you know what? I would have just said, okay, generic action movie. But they kept referencing the original. They kept referencing the Brandon Lee film. There are references to the comic.
Yeah,
and that blew it out of the water for me.
yeah.
Well, I had said there were so many crows in the comics that they could have drawn from or come up with a completely different one. If they wanted to
Yeah.
keep it in the same franchise, they could have, you know.
Mhm.
David, I am planning a Exorcist 2 for in October sometime. It's going to be Exorcist and the Real Exorcist 2. You may know it as the Ninth Configuration. We'll get into that when I do the remake.
Yeah, I don't get how you think that's an
I'll
Exorcist
explain.
sequel, though.
I'll explain.
Okay.
I'm one of the few who likes Exorcist 3 more than the first
Oh,
Exorcist.
3. Well, I don't know about
Yeah.
3 is actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
That 3 and
I have-
3, that great jump scare that even made my dad.
In the hallway with the person
Yeah,
coming after.
and-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
I have them all on
And
DVD.
Brad
and
Dourif
it's
just
been-
steals that movie, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've got to go back and rewatch them. I really do. Fraggle Rock the motion picture. I like that. And they could do a spin-off
Why
with
not?
Uncle Traveling Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exorcism was a documentary.
Exorcist was a documentary.
And it keeps getting funnier every single time.
But there seems to be this whole subgenre now of Exorcist movies with Russell Crowe in them.
Yeah, he's done two.
Exactly.
Two in 1 year.
Yeah.
I never saw the second one. I was going to, and then I canceled my ticket.
Oh,
So I never saw that one.
Did you ever see the Leslie Nielsen? What was it? Repossessed.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I'd forgotten all about it till you mentioned it.
Yeah. It
Same
brings back
here.
Linda Blair too.
Jesse's saying, I'm surprised they haven't made a Fraggle Rock movie.
They
I'm
haven't
surprised
done
too.
anything with any of the Henson products since that failed.
No, they're
Stupid.
sadly collecting. They're all sadly collecting dust.
Yeah. They did that terribly ill-conceived TV show that was they very adultified the characters, and it's like
Oh.
nobody wants to find out about the ins and the outs of Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog's failed marriage or whatever.
Oh, the ABC show you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually had some, and I know I'm in the minority. I actually thought that show had some moments.
You know, the one that I liked that nobody ever talks about was Netflix's attempt at a Dark Crystal series.
I figured you were going to say that. I never watched that one.
I
I
didn't see it
actually
either.
like that quite a bit, but nobody, and who knows, maybe you guys might be saying the same thing about it because it was also kind of adultified, but not in the same way. It was basically you just got to learn more about the world and about why the Mystics and Skeksis were the way they were, and I thought it was really interesting, but.
I was originally intrigued by the idea, and I was, going to make sure that I got a copy of it for my brother and whatnot. But after my brother passed away, I completely lost interest because he was the Dark Crystal fan.
I understand.
The movie, The Dark Crystal, is on Tubi, or the series, Jesse?
Probably the movie. The series,
Probably
I think, is
movie.
on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
and they
think it's where-
canceled
I
it.
think it's
Yeah,
where it's
they
at.
canceled it. Yeah.
They deleted it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they deleted it. It
It's not
was
on
It,
there
it
anymore?
got willowed. Yeah.
it didn't do well enough,
Oh,
and
I didn't hear
usually
that.
usually I will be one of the first to say, well, it deserved it, but in my humble opinion, this one did not deserve it. But it is what it is, and like I say, you guys might all watch it and disagree with me, but
Well, apparently now we can't.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I heard.
Wow.
I heard.
I'm
mixed
sure it's
reviews.
available on the high seas.
Right.
I heard
Oh,
there's
I'm
Right.
sure it
release for
is.
that.
Yeah. Darth Plato with Fraggle Rock was a vehicle for socialism. I don't know where you're getting that, but then again, I was like 7 when I saw it, so you know.
Fraggle Rock socialism. Socialism.
All right.
Well, I mean, I suppose you could argue that the Doozers were kind of socialists. They were workers that didn't really answer to anyone. They worked for work's sake, and everyone worked. But the Fraggles were just lazy bums that just took whatever the Doozers made. So, if anything, it's an allegory for slavery.
I always kind of looked at them at the time as being more symbiotic because it was
Symbiotic, yeah.
always the Doozers built it, the Fraggles would eat it. They kind of needed each other in a way.
Yeah, even with the
That's how I
Gorg,
could be wrong, but
the Gorgs relied on I'm trying to remember what the interaction was. Why did they always they always had to go the Fraggles always had to go to the trash heap to get information.
Mhm.
And there's a step I'm missing in there, but they actually did a story like that where the trash heap explained that the Gorgs and the Doozers and the Fraggles all relied on each other, you know, and you couldn't have any one without the other two. A wise Jewish trash heap, in fact.
yeah. And demonetized.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well,
make sure you
They'll let me know in the morning.
make sure you hit the super thanks and the super chats and the all those money things because otherwise we're gonna go broke.
Out of the actors who played Joker, how would you rank them? Wow.
The Space Fraggle. The trash heap has spoken. Yeah.
The Pensex says that Dark Crystal or Age of Resistance is still on Netflix. Just check.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Well, I don't have
All right.
Netflix,
Well-
but maybe one of you guys can check.
Whoever. All right, hold on.
Let me know.
All right, talk amongst yourselves. Let me look for this.
Talk, talk.
Yeah, you got to
Okay.
put
Pick a little,
Heath
talk a
Ledger
little,
at
pick a little,
near
talk a
the
little,
top.
pick
Of
a
the
little,
list
pick a
of
little,
the best
pick a little more.
Jokers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely Heath Ledger.
Hamill, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't like the guy, but he made a good Joker.
I don't
Yeah.
either, but his performance as Joker was fantastic.
Nicholson, yeah.
And Cesar Romero, he
Those
would probably
Cesar
be
Romero
number
was
4.
Absolutely, yeah.
He'd be number 4 for me. That's the only ones I can think of at the moment. Or were there any others?
There was that
For me,
lame
the only
one.
two Jokers is Ledger and Hamill and Mark.
Mm.
Those are the only two Jokers for me.
I mean, Jack Nicholson's Joker was really funny. My dad thought he was freaking hilarious, and he was. So it's I don't know. It's a little tight between Nicholson and Hamill, but I think just as a whole, there was so much more of Hamill to watch in the animated. Animated show, and he was just so off his rocker in the way he played the character and the voice and
He
everything.
wasn't
Were
even
just,
acting.
I know it was so on point. I don't know, that one just kind of, I feel like he edges Nicholson out, but I don't think anything can beat Heath Ledger right now. Oh, I totally forgot about Jared Leto. Jared Leto
Yeah,
would be
Yeah,
Jared
well,
Leto. Depends
Oh,
which
exactly.
one. Like, I like the Jared Leto Joker in the Snyder cut, so I would probably put him as number 4, and then Cesar Romero as number 5.
And there's,
Yeah. Dark Crystal is still on Netflix, folks.
Okay.
Really?
And
Yep.
but it has not been released on DVD, so if you see it out there somewhere, it's just someone who's bootlegging, which I'm not necessarily even condemning. I'm just saying know what you're getting.
Gotcha.
so there's Joaquin's Joker too.
Oh dang!
Yeah, that's not
Oh, I
really the
forgot all
Joker.
about-
yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
know
it's
he's
not.
not supposed to be. He was really,
Yeah,
he was really good though.
I see him as a Black Label. What if?
Yeah.
If you push me, I will say that as far as a modern comic adaptation of the Joker, Heath Ledger is the best, with Jack Nicholson being a very close second. But if you want my overall favorite, it's Cesar Romero.
Well, that's interesting.
He is without a doubt my Silver Age original Joker.
Sashi, who are you thinking of as the current Joker? Because
Yeah.
if you're talking about Barry Keoghan in the Batman, he's in that movie so little that he barely registers.
I have
think
a feeling he's talking about something else.
he's talking about Joaquin, I think.
Okay,
Is he? Okay.
that's Joker
Yeah.
for Jesse Mark Hamill.
And then
Cesar
there was
Romero
Thank
for the
you,
win.
Darth.
yeah. Napoleon was a bad Joker.
Well, how do you know? Were you there? Maybe.
The only good line in that movie that I know of, shall we vote?
Yeah.
Never mind.
It's actually been a while since I've seen it.
No,
I don't know what the
that-
sequel's going to do. I don't know.
That
Napoleon?
raises an interesting question. So,
Yeah,
is your
yeah,
favorite Joker and your favorite Batman tied to each other or completely separate?
Oh, they might be tied because Bale is my favorite Batman. I don't know.
It was good.
But
point.
Yeah.
oh gosh. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. What is the animated Batman? Oh, what's his name? I know.
Kevin Conroy.
Yes, Kevin
Kevin
Conroy.
Conroy.
Yeah, he is
He-
good. Yeah.
He is he was perfect as well. So that's where I'm going to split off between animated and live action.
What made
Mhm.
me think of the question was the fact that as I was thinking about modern Batman, I realized it's reverse for me on the Batman. I would say that for the modern Batman, it would be Michael Keaton first, then Christian Bale. But if we're talking classic favorite Batman for me,
Gosh, you don't say it. Don't say
I'm
it.
sorry, it's Adam West.
Everybody's
Yeah.
forgetting about that black and white
Adam
Batman from way back in the day before Adam West even came along.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Personally, I
The one with
actually
the
like
floppy
that one
ears.
better.
Yeah.
Mm.
Gotta be the Batman, gotta be Adam West.
There you go.
Yeah, Sashi, it's
Yes,
hard to
yes, it
categorize
is.
Phoenix since he's not the regular Joker, but his portrayal in the first movie was just fantastic. He was probably the most realistic
Yeah.
Joker of them all.
But I don't
Lewis
think you
Wilson.
want
Yeah,
a realistic
that's right,
Batman.
Yes.
Or Joker, I mean. You
Sorry,
don't
what's
want-
that, Troy?
I don't think you want your Joker to be too realistic, though. That's why I think that the most realistic I think that you can go is, in my opinion, is Heath Ledger's.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the over the topness of Nicholson. You know,
Mhm.
I think what holds me up on Nicholson is the fact that, unlike every classic version of the Joker, we see his origin there, and it doesn't fit with anything that we associate with the Joker. The idea that he was already a criminal, a murderer, and everything before he became the Joker, it's not
then he
much of
became-
a transformation.
Became the one that had killed Batman's parents.
Yeah, that also takes away the whole Joe Chill
Mm.
aspect, and yeah. That's great for a one-time Batman that you're not going to do sequels to. That's not, for a franchise builder. Which I get. Tim Burton didn't want to be part of a franchise. He wanted it to be his own thing, and that's it.
This town needs an enema. Yeah, some of the
Yeah.
lines he threw out,
Yes.
Sashi,
Yeah.
were really funny. That's why my dad likes him so much. I guess the thing is, after Batman Begins came out, I really loved that movie, and I just wanted
Yeah.
more Batman. And so I had the Tim Burton Batman, where the 4 Batman
Mhm.
in like a DVD collection. So I pulled out the first Batman. I started watching it, to get my Batman fix, and
Yeah.
I couldn't finish it because it was just too campy for me to enjoy anymore. I had been spoiled by Nolan's version, which is a version that I like. I don't like the campy, ridiculous, over the top silliness of Batman.
Honestly, I think, well, but if you think about what the animated series was, it was somewhere in between.
It was
Yeah.
it was serious and campy, but the campy wasn't clowny. It wasn't clowny to the point of just like, ugh. Like
Yeah.
it comes across differently.
It also plays itself as though you could, if you squint and tilt your head a little bit, it's supposed to be the same Batman as the Michael Keaton Batman.
Right, because the music, for one thing.
Well, the music for one thing. Then he makes references like, I've got to go. What about dinner? I'll have dinner when I get back. But this time, Alfred, cook the soup, please.
Yeah. Even though Conroy's portrayal of that Batman is so different from Keaton.
Yeah.
Is anyone else aware of the fan fiction on YouTube of Batman 1919?
No, I haven't seen that. I'll have to look into it.
Familiar.
No,
way.
I know there's. I've heard. I think I may have seen the one where Batman comes up against
Yes.
Alien or Predator or
Predator,
something. One of
yeah.
the Predator. Yeah, I have not seen the 1919 one.
How about the Grayson? I don't want to call it a fan film. It was more like a fan trailer.
I have not seen that.
No, I haven't seen it either. I do know.
Goodness.
I thought that they had made that as a feature, but it was like a bootleg or something. I could be wrong.
They didn't make it. As
But
a feature.
I know it was meant to be a feature at one point.
Batman versus Cthulhu? Holy crap.
I'll take it.
And I
Fan fiction.
left it
Batman
in the
versus-
private chat.
For
And
all
so-
of you guys, check out Grayson in your own time. We obviously can't play, or I would recommend against playing it here because
Yeah, I don't want
you
to.
really should.
risk it.
You really should make sure that
Yeah.
the director gets his because he made no money off of this. This was not something where he did a kick fund or anything like that. He did it all himself. There's this great. Actually, what's even better than the trailer itself, that's what it is. It's a trailer for a film that would never be made. There's this great scene where Commissioner Gordon is standing in, I think he's in Wayne Manor in the library, and it looks beautiful with all the books and everything. And the director said, yeah, all those books, I found out what the lending policy was for every library within like 40 miles of my house. And we got the shot, and then I had to return all the books.
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's how this was done.
That's fantastic.
It implies enough story that you know what's going on with it. And it's like, I would love to see this movie.
Batman, Superman versus Darth Vader. Wow.
What do you guys think about? I don't know if it's true, but there's a Goonies sequel.
I am so confused about that
Okay,
because I heard
here-
that was not a
Is it
true
fake or
story
is it
and
real?
people ran
Yeah.
with it. Then I heard Sean Astin shared something. So I am so confused.
Okay, here's the status on that as of what I've last heard. Martha Plimpton and Corey Feldman have both said this is not happening. And what convinces me that it's not happening is that Corey Feldman needs the money.
Mm.
Fair enough.
So what did Sean Astin just
Yeah.
fall for the ruse? I mean, what?
I think he just fell for it.
You would
the
think that
only
he
one-
would know ahead of time.
The only one who has brought up that I know of that initial core cast who has brought up anything having to do with the sequel is Sean Astin.
Okay.
So and I think, I mean, even so, leave it alone.
Oh
Yeah.
agreed.
Just leave it. Don't, they took the wrong lesson from Top Gun Maverick. Now they're just thinking, oh, people want to see 30-year down the road sequels. No, Top Gun Maverick worked because it was made by people who cared about it, and they took the time and they wrote a good story, and they got some good actors,
and they filmed a
to
good
come back.
story.
And they filmed a good story by people who knew how to make a movie. Don't just go, okay, it's this 30, okay, what's a movie from 30 years or 40 years ago that we can remake? No, they took the wrong lesson, just like they always do.
See, this is something that back in the early days of dissecting this kind of stuff, when Boomer and I were just starting out, one of the things I pointed out was that Hollywood, well, it used to be that movie companies used to do market research. They would have rough cuts of movies that you could show to people. There'd be people with clipboards at the mall that would say, hey, would you like to make, $20 to sit and watch a movie for 2 hours and tell us your opinion of it? And they would do this, and movies would be changed long before they were ready to be printed, based on public opinion. You read about it in the behind the scenes all the time. And like I said, they would pay for these opinions. Now they literally have access to everyone's opinion on the internet for free.
Yeah.
And they actively reject it. I don't think I want a Lost Boys remake.
No, I don't.
No.
Darth, I don't feel that Maverick was too similar to the first one. I think it was superior to the first one.
Yeah, I agree. I actually think so too. Yeah.
Are we having a debate, Julie Newmar versus Lee Merriweather?
Someone asked, I think it was Darth, asked about
who's the
how
best
about best Catwoman?
Woman. For me, Julie Newmar's number one. Lee Merriweather, if you want to say she's number one or number two, I'm fine with that too. Yeah.
Oof.
I don't think Lee Merriweather to me is kind of like what's his name that played James Bond on Her Majesty's Secret Service?
George Lazenby.
Yeah, she's kind of like Lazenby. You only get the one shot, and I don't think that's enough to. It's kind of unfair to judge her based on that. But of all the episodes of the original Batman, the movie that she appears in, that was my favorite portrayal of Catwoman. I was kind of traumatized by her apparent death in that. As a kid, I was kind of crushing on Catwoman, and that bothered me. So it really did shape my whole thought process of the Batman Catwoman relationship and whatnot. Which also kind of when I finally got to Batman 89, I was like, okay, she's not dead. That's good. I like that. I like the idea of Catwoman having 9 lives, as her superpower.
Eartha Kitt. Yeah.
Eartha Kitt.
Yeah, forgot about Eartha Kitt.
Yes, they're about to bring her up.
Shirley Patterson was the best
Who-
Catwoman. She
Shirley-
was the first one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. My favorite.
Fair enough.
I'm parting ways with all of y'all on this one. My favorite is Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, she was pretty good. She was pretty good.
yeah,
Really
she is. like I was separating, classic from modern. She's without a doubt my favorite modern, by a long shot. I'm not doing the whole, so and so is a close second. There is no close second in the modern.
No, yeah, Anne Hathaway just did not do it for me.
Not at all.
Oh
Not
my
at
gosh,
all.
I thought she was a terrible pick for the role.
The worst.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with her.
Hello to She-Rock Creations, best disaster movie, Poseidon Adventure, or Towering Inferno.
Do you want to come down in a tower or climb up in a boat?
Yeah.
And Jesse,
Your
I
pick.
think the confusion is I didn't say anything about Maverick because I haven't seen Maverick.
You haven't seen Maverick?
I just haven't gotten around to it. I
Dude,
have it on
Wow.
DVD.
Dude,
Wow.
you should have seen that on the big screen.
I have it on DVD, and I haven't.
You
had-
should have seen that on the big screen.
There's a lot of movies I should have seen on the big screen.
That's worth the big screen experience.
but
Yeah.
Seriously.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
You tell him, Sin. You tell him. You tell him, Sin.
I was trying to convert. I was trying to just like convert everyone when that film came out. I was like, you must see this on the big screen. You must.
Well,
This was made
I
for
had
the big
wanted
screen.
to, and then
Oh,
life
Troy.
just got away from me.
Oh.
Just guys,
It was in theaters
It happens.
forever.
It happens.
It was in
It
theaters
happens.
forever. Sometimes it comes back, so keep your eye out.
Yeah. So, I was just going to suggest that. If
keep
you
in
see
mind,
it,
when you see a comment in the chat from me or deleted scenes, it's possible that it's coming from both of us, and that means one typed it and it came out on both of our names because we're sharing the stream, and so don't be confused. I didn't say anything about Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I would say boot him. Boot him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
I refuse to see Maverick.
you know what? I was doing my I was doing my sports thing tonight.
I have the
I
power
kept on-
too now.
Oh, we'll
That's
see for how long.
funny.
Go ahead.
You realize
I-
though, deleted, if both of us are out of the stream, that makes Sin bigger so people can see her better. You'll get better ratings that way.
Oh, no, don't do that.
there you
There we
go.
go.
Don't do that. Okay, look, I'll just
Perfect.
there.
Oh, best screen ever.
It's like,
So wrong.
that's like
So
Give him
what
help,
Disney
Sin.
did. That's like what Disney did to Daryl Hannah. Troy, that
Oh
makes
my
two of us
goodness.
Well, good. I'm glad to know that not everyone is immediately on the current thing.
Dude, that movie was in theaters for months.
I've never seen it.
And it
sorry.
came back too.
I never
At least
saw it,
once or twice. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm leaving.
and I refuse to.
I'm never coming back to this stream. You guys have just ostracized
Oh
me.
my gosh. Like if there's a movie that deserves to be watched on the big screen, it is Top Gun Maverick. Just because the jets and the cinematographer. Oh my gosh. I saw that movie 5 times on the big screen.
I think Iron Eagle's due for a sequel, another sequel.
Didn't they do an Iron Eagle too?
They made a whole
We did do an
bunch
Iron
of
did.
Eagle.
They
Yeah.
made a whole bunch of them.
Well, only 1 and 2 were any good.
I don't think I saw the second one.
First one was better.
And Troy is canceled, Sasha. Yes, he is.
Well, I guess now I'll have more time to go see movies.
Right on.
I was trying
Bill,
to say
you
that-
were saying.
Yeah, I was trying to say that I was watching the football game and they kept from Peacock, and Peacock kept on showing the same 4 block of commercials, and one of them was a block for the commercial for the Joker movie, the Joker sequel. And and I never knew I could get so tired of watching a badly done trailer. and I think the movie's gonna do badly. So I don't.
It doesn't sound good.
Well, they just kept on playing it over and over because it was horrible to endure that, watching it over and over again like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna see it, but I'm not optimistic about it at all.
All right, so speaking of movies that you're not optimistic about, Sin, you seem to be in the minority when it comes to a recent release.
I'm very much
tell us
in the
about
minority
Substance.
on this. The Substance. Oh my gosh, you guys! Has anybody here seen it yet?
I never
No,
heard of it.
I
before.
haven't yet. No.
So it's a movie made by, gosh, she's a French woman. Her first movie I actually really enjoyed, called Revenge. It's on Shudder. And this one I appreciate the messaging of this film because it's basically a condemnation of Hollywood's ridiculous beauty standards that they place on, women specifically. It is very much so on women, and the lengths that some women will go to in order to preserve their youth. And it's basically a body horror movie. It's a Demi Moore plays, she's an aging actress. She has like an exercise show as well, and she had been in movies and stuff before. And she has this long running exercise show, and Dennis Quaid wants to get rid of her because she's too old now. And so she's all depressed and sad about that. And she comes into contact with someone who tells her about this new drug called the Substance. It's a black market drug. And she has these specific rules to follow. So she goes in, and basically the point is, the Substance is you take this stuff and you basically switch with a new version of yourself. 7 days, the new version is out and about and living their life. And then you have to switch and the old version comes back again. And it's really grotesque. It's very well done. A lot of this special effects are very well done. So she takes this drug, she splits a new version of herself, which surprisingly looks nothing at all like her, but it's supposed to be basically her. Played by Margaret Qualley, who is what's her face's daughter, Andie MacDowell's daughter. Anyway, so they switch places for 7 days, then they switch back, and then the young version starts to abuse this system. Even though they're supposed to be the same person, she starts to abuse this, and she stays longer than she should. And this causes detrimental effects to Demi Moore's, because the longer the new one stays, the worse it makes Demi Moore age. And that's basically the story. It was an interesting premise. There were a few things about it that I enjoyed, but there was more that I didn't enjoy. So I couldn't come away from it with as positive a feeling about it as most of my other fellow YouTube buddies. At the very final act, it's way too long too. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. I was ready for it to be over about 30 to 45 minutes before it was done. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's all this time left. And then the final act, the final thing that happens, it's so over the top and ridiculous. I just was like, it was too much. And maybe that was the whole point of it, was to be so absurd. Someone said this movie was supposed to be camp, but I didn't really get that. Like, to me, the movie seemed to take itself very seriously. And then when this final act happened, this final moment, then it just was, I was just like, I can't, yeah, at that point it seems camp because it's just absolutely ridiculous. But up until that point, it feels like you're supposed to take it seriously. So I just couldn't. I go into detail about the different things that annoyed me about that movie, even though I appreciated other things about it. But yeah, I gave it 2.5 out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just maybe it's just me, y'all. You guys may love it, and I get why people love it, but after a while, it just started to the risks that the younger version of Demi Moore was taking, given the very strict rules about this thing. I wasn't convinced that she was. I wasn't convinced as to why she so quickly and easily started taking these risks, given the seriousness. You know, it just like it just didn't click with me. Oh, and then there's other stuff too. Like there's this super old person like bent over and can hardly move, and then the next moment they're running downstairs and running down the street. You know, like stupid inconsistencies like that just got under my skin like crazy. I don't know. Just it bugged me, y'all.
We're talking about the substance.
The substance. It has important messaging, which I did appreciate, and I did like that it was basically a critique of Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And I did appreciate that too. That's the thing. Like I appreciated this stuff about it, but it was just like it went on too long. I also started to lose an emotional connection with Demi Moore's character. And when that happens, I get to the point where I just don't give a crap anymore. I'm just ready for it to be done. And that was what was happening.
Yeah, I hadn't either. Jesse. I was completely lost.
Yeah, because this is, and I don't know if it's just because I tend to pay attention more towards this sort of thing. I was seeing trailers for this thing.
Oh yeah, they were showing trailers in front of a lot of movies. I had seen the trailer, and I just because it was one of those trailers that I was, I had no anticipation for this film and I didn't care. So I saw the trailer and I was like, nah, no thanks. But it was getting all this positive buzz, and Chris Gore was just like, oh, it's so great. Well, this is the second time Chris Gore and I have very, very strictly parted ways on certain movies. The first one was stop motion. But so I was like, okay, maybe it's going to be, I think I'm probably going to like it because blah, blah, blah. And no, I left the movie theater not super happy. So,
yeah. I think so. You pointed out that there's another actress playing a younger Demi Moore in this, and I just feel like in this day and age, it's time to get away from that. I think unless you have someone that the casting is just perfect, and you don't even you're looking at them and you're going, how did they find a younger Demi Moore? Then you got to start doing a story like you start with a younger actress and you age her up with makeup and CG.
Well, so my thought was, why didn't they just make basically her new person be a twin and make the actress look like Demi, fix her up? But that wouldn't have worked because this actress, so Demi Moore, her show is done and they need to have a new person.
Yeah.
Well, this new version of herself goes and takes over that show. So it wouldn't work for purposes of the story. It wouldn't work if she looked exactly like Demi Moore. So it's like, okay, but she was supposed to be Demi, except a younger, version of her.
It sounds like there's a problem with the storytelling in that regard.
You're supposed to just suspend a lot of disbelief.
Yeah, there comes a point where there's only so much that you can suspend.
Why was she chosen?
Yeah.
Who was funding this drug? How come she didn't have to pay for it at all because it was given to her free? And I kind of called myself out on my own discrepancy in my complaint on that because just like with My Old Ass, it doesn't matter how or why Aubrey Plaza could talk to the younger version of herself.
Yeah.
The mechanics aren't important. What's important is the whole point of this character arc that the main character goes through. The same could be applied to this movie, but for whatever reason, it doesn't work in my brain for me.
From what you've said about both movies, it sounds to me like the suspension of disbelief is similar, but there has to be a payoff to it. You have to be willing to suspend your disbelief because the story is so good, so on point, so well told.
And it worked in My Old Ass. It didn't work for me in this.
It sounds like the story wasn't on point, so you are not willing to suspend your disbelief.
A good way to point. That's a good way to put it.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
just
you
saying
said
that's
it.
what it sounds
You
like
said
to me.
it better than me. I'm going to go with that.
I'm just interpreting what you said. That's all. But
Well, sometimes I know how I feel. I just
Yeah.
can't put it into
I
words
get it.
exactly.
I just looked up a few stills from this, and seeing Demi Moore now, she's still beautiful. So I would have a hard time going into this going, no, don't nothing. Oh, you know.
Well, I mentioned in my review that I feel like her being cast in this role was actually it was pretty good because she in real life is very representative of the character she's playing. She's had
Okay.
work done, and I don't
Yeah.
think it looks good on her face. She's had work done to like she looks a lot like Courtney Cox. In some shots, she looks almost exactly like Courtney Cox. They both had work done, and I don't think it looks so great.
Yeah, there's things you can do and there's things you should never do. Ladies, don't ever do anything to your upper lip ever.
Cutting up your face, oh, it just it doesn't leave it the same way. It makes you not even look like the same person.
Yeah.
And she definitely was putting herself in a very vulnerable position in this film because she bears all and literally bears all, like literally. There's a lot of nudity in here
Not the
because
first time she's done that. so
that's
it's not-
true, but
yeah.
at her age, though, she still looks great.
I was just gonna say.
I mean,
she's
you know,
still-
Yeah.
I know
She's
I
gonna
don't-
be in her 60s.
I know she's had work, but I
Yeah.
don't know to what extent on the rest of her body. I mean, I think some stuff up here, but I don't know about what else. Maybe she's just been in fantastic shape and the rest of her just looks fine because she's taking care of herself. I don't know. But, you know, it feels like it would have been a challenging role to take on, a scary role probably, you know, for her age. And she went with it and she does great. Everybody is great in here. Their performances are fine. Margaret Qualley, I'm not so sure how I feel about her as an actor. The first time I noticed her was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mhm.
She's got one of those faces that rubs me wrong. She's got one of those Mia Goth faces that rubs me wrong.
Mm.
I don't know. Even though she's
Dang.
probably perfectly lovely, like there are some people, the way they look, it just like I get this antagonistic feeling, and I don't
You
know
know,
why. It's so
hearing you-
stupid.
Hearing you say that made me think a Big Al says this about, I can't remember who the actor is, but he just says he's got just such a punchable
A
face.
punchable face.
I can't watch his movies. I just want to punch him in the face.
I just want to punch his face.
There
Yeah.
are some people who's, you know, like, so I had mentioned before, I can't remember to who, but I had mentioned before about Mia Goth. I think it was D Movie Man I was talking with. And Mia Goth, the very first thing I saw her in was X. And I didn't like I just instinctively did not like her. I didn't like her look. And it maybe a good part of it was her character because I didn't like the way her character was. And I was like, man, what is it? Is it just her character, or do I just instinctively not like her as a person? What is going on? Why? Why do I
Okay.
feel this way?
So I just looked her up, and yeah,
See, she's got one of
kinda
those,
see it.
See?
It's in the eyes and the eyebrows.
and the
They're-
nose and the mouth. It's the whole face.
I
Troy.
can forgive the nose and the mouth. The eyes are a little
Are you talking about Mia
Yeah.
Goth or Margaret Qualley?
Margaret Qualley.
Yeah, Margaret Qualley. She
Her eyes are set a little bit too far apart, and she's got like
Something.
super thick eyebrows. She looks
yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. I think I feel like I need to see her in playing a role where she's a likable person, because in the two things
That
I've
would
seen her
help,
in,
yeah.
she's not likable at all.
that yeah. You're right. You do tend to judge. And Netter can tell you this more than anyone. If she's the first time she sees someone is in a very unlikable, kind of role, she does not want to see any movie with that person in.
It's weird.
Ruined Colson's cards.
See, it's Sam Jackson. Yep.
Her knitter.
It's
Better.
weird. It's not. I don't feel that way about all of the actors and actresses that I watch. It's just it's just maybe certain people. I don't understand it. It's just like just this feeling I get. But I did watch an interview with Mia Goth where she wasn't playing anybody. She was just in an interview, And has the most adorable sound and little sweet voice, not at all like
Yeah.
her voice is.
Okay, Mia
She's-
Goth
she's
is the
likable.
exact opposite. She's got no eyebrows.
Yeah, I know. She's unusual looking.
It's very difficult to look at someone with no eyebrows and
But when you hear her talk and
Uh-huh.
and she's being normal self, she's perfectly fine. Like I liked it. So it's like, okay, it's just the character.
if Mia Goth and Margaret, what's her name, Qualley?
Wally, yeah.
If they could like even out the eyebrows between them, maybe they'd be doing better.
Margaret Qualley played one of those Manson chicks in Once Upon a Time in
Yeah.
Hollywood. So
Yikes.
yeah, she did. And in this one, she plays a certain. I mean, she's a good actor. But it's just something. I don't know. I need to watch her in something else before I decide I really don't like her. Anyway, whatever. That's the substance. You have to have a strong stomach. There's a lot of nasty stuff that's shown in there. So, yeah. Hey, Joe. Sashi. I
Welcome,
just
Joe
now read
Coppola.
Sashi's comment. Did you see what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably did.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Just remember, Shashi, that Troy is within throwing distance.
Yeah, of his
We're
wife.
trying not to get him in
Exactly.
trouble. Yeah.
And
Um,
she's listening.
Yeah.
I mean, what would be difficult about that is after very, very meticulously watching and rewatching about last night,
Oh.
I just okay, comparison, okay.
Oh yeah, that movie. It's been forever since I saw that film.
I love that movie. Not just for that reason, but a little bit.
Sure.
A little bit.
I used to not like Demi at all. Like at all. Back
Huh.
in the 80s and early 90s, could not stand her because she came across to me as someone that was extremely egotistical. And it just didn't. I've warmed to her a little more now that she's older and she doesn't seem to be quite as full of herself. Kind of like how same thing with Scarlett Johansson. That's how I felt about Scarlett for a long time.
I never really thought much about what she was like outside of her roles. Let's face it, the first thing I think I saw her in was St. Elmo's Fire.
Yes. Mhm.
And I liked her well enough in that, and kind of tried to see every movie she did after that. But About Last Night really hit home for me, not just because of her. It was the Chicago setting. It was
Oh
the
yeah.
soundtrack. Everything about that movie I just love, And then when Netter and I started dating, we actually went to that pub that's in the movie, Mother's.
Oh, okay.
It was like half a block from where she lived, so we went there a number of times. So that movie just has a very, very fond place in my heart.
Mm. It's understandable.
Hello to Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Thank you for joining us.
What
Tommy,
a title.
Hello.
All right.
Hello,
let's see.
Tommy.
Jesse said, I can talk about a movie from the 70s, and some people have heard of these movies. Others don't care until there's a remake, and they treat it like the original. Yeah, that annoys me.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's kind of like the movie equivalent of not knowing your history.
I remember when I used to make the joke, hey, have you heard that Paul McCartney was in a band before Wings? And I was very disheartened when I said that to someone and they were like, what's Wings?
Ugh.
Yeah, that's when I knew I was old.
Darth Plato says, we're at the point of praising films just because it isn't tied in DEI.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong.
The same as the woke were judging movies for their sociological bent. Yeah, but the other side of that argument is Hollywood's kind of put us in that position.
Yeah,
Well-
they've moved away from telling good stories for good story's sake, and instead they've inserted activism into it. That's why.
Yeah.
I said this the other night that what constitutes woke isn't the messaging itself, because having a film have a social message is kind of what movies have always been about, especially things like, believe it or not, horror films. Horror films have always been about the existential fears of that generation. It was either a reaction to some Holocaust or pending nuclear war or the Cold War or whatever. They disguise it in zombies and vampires and the axe murderer and whatnot, but it's very much a social message, and nobody has ever had a problem with it. It's when it becomes preachy and very, very much of a one specific extreme political bent. Okay, I mean, on the one hand, you could have Birth of a Nation. Okay. On the other hand, you can have every leftist woke story that we've gotten in the past decade. Okay. Those are your two extreme. Well, I don't know. Maybe Birth of a Nation would be all the way on the left. Now that I'm thinking about it, racism is racism, right?
Yeah. But
And
yeah,
these
I
are the
mean,
same people.
oh, I'm just saying that, the way that I decide what makes a good movie, what makes a bad one, really hasn't changed. The thing that changed things for me was everything going to streaming so fast. And Troy, you brought this up earlier tonight on Geeky Geezers as well.
Yep.
Is the fact that, back in the day, and I'm talking about the early days of cable, there would be, in some cases, up to a year between the time that a movie was in
sometimes
theaters
more.
to when it,
More, yeah.
sometimes more. Yeah.
And
And
it
now,
was dependent on how well it did at the theater. If it did really well, you're not going to see it for more than a year, because they might re-release it in the theater. That was why. But if it didn't do well, within 6 months it was probably on cable.
And hello, Railway Nation Gaming Clips. Now, it's like, let me put it this way. It's almost like there was more of a reverence. You had E.T. E.T. played in theaters for a year, despite what anybody might say about that movie now, because everybody seems to suddenly hate it now. But back in the day, everybody loved that movie. That movie played where I lived for a solid year plus in theaters. And then eventually airs on cable, airs on television, and it's basically like this 3-year process.
Yeah.
But now it's almost like, hi, it's this new movie. It'll be, and we're getting, it'll be on digital in X amount of time. And they're announcing this while the movie is still in theaters.
Right. And so you
like,
can
okay,
easily make the decision, you know what, I'll just pass and I'll see it when it comes out on stream.
I mean, there's maybe, between now and the end of the year, there's maybe 2 movies I'm interested in seeing in theaters. 2.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy who used to go every week. Now I don't go. I hardly go, except when we do the mystery movie nights.
Oh, dang.
I don't go to the theaters anymore. Why bother?
I still go all the time.
mainly because the movies are just so generic.
Yeah.
I mean, even the movies I like that I give good reviews to, generic films. I watched last night. I watched that movie Afraid.
Oh, the AI one?
Yeah, I think. There's a point in the movie when Dasmalchian takes one in the melon there, where I realized this is Upgrade.
No.
They
Okay.
remade Upgrade. It's Upgrade
Oh.
Light. And I'm like, okay, I can be entertained by the movie that I'm watching, but I'm entertained by it because I'm realizing it's basically a PG-13 version of a movie that I've seen. That and Catherine Waterston is cute. That helps. But but my main point is that they're putting movies out in theaters these days that feel like they should be going straight to streaming.
Oh, for sure. And some that go to streaming that should go on the big screen.
Yeah. And that's why, I can't recommend going to see movies in theaters most of the time because I'm like, just watch it on TV. That's what it's meant for. I don't know. That's just me, I guess.
And we all agree with you, Joe.
Indeed.
What do you say?
Sin looks great on live too. Sorry,
Indeed.
just saying. Yeah, no, it's true. It's absolutely true. But Doreen, can you go back to? I'd like to go back to what Darth Plato was saying. Great points, I think. Where was it? There it is.
Oh, yeah.
About wokeism.
Because I was talking about the difference
Yeah.
between messaging and being woke. Woke is virtue signaling social justice, which includes the idea that the white straight males are culpable for the past 500 years of history. Only an oppressor can be woke. I know what woke is. I had to contend with academia for the better part of 20 years. It's not, woke is not just movies. It's the indoctrination in academia. It is in games. They're trying to
everywhere.
It is a ham-handed psyop trying to force people to believe a worldview that is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact is that ridiculous worldview will be accepted by the weak-minded, the so-called useful idiots. You see it all the time. You see a bunch of people out there that are slack-jawed droolers that don't know how to think for themselves. They hear something that sounds right, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's bad. That's bad that this happened to these people for so many years, and we really need the reparations, and we really without really thinking through and understanding what they're talking about."
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
So, Sin, I understand we got to do we have to play you out. You did stay a little bit longer than you said you could.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, tad longer. My alarm went off, and it's like,
I see.
I have,
Okay.
Joe. I've seen National Treasure. Yeah, I have an appointment in the morning, so I don't want to stay up too late. So,
And hello to the Clue Channel.
thank you for having me. It was fun as always.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
We must do this again sometime.
Yeah, like I would say next week, but I'm going to be out of town next.
Yeah. It's
I'm
just
gonna
going to
be
be me and the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Kansas City the week after
What's
that.
the point of any of us coming then? Never mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The weekend
Hey.
after that, I'm going to
Thank
be
you.
in.
Just kill my show, why don't you?
Okay,
Y'all were
Sid.
here long before me.
Yeah.
The week after that, I'm going to be in New Jersey, but I do have the capability to stream in New Jersey, so potentially, but we'll see. I'm going to be babysitting my nephews, so yeah.
All the love, all the Sin love out there. Look at that.
I
It's blue.
swear. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a great rest of your stream. Bye.
Thanks, Sid. Have
Later,
fun.
Stan.
See ya.
Hey Moira, welcome. Meow.
I'm excited for Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
I'm really
I-
excited for
I
Terrifier
reckon
3.
you would be. Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
I'm gonna go see a double feature. I booked it.
Not seen any of the Terrifier films, even though I think
Oh,
I have
I
at least one of them.
love
already.
him. Love Art the Clown. He's
Yeah.
so sadistic.
So
He is.
Art the Clown, he goes back to
Yes.
what is it? All Hallows Eve is the first movie he shows up in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's on Shudder. So, because eventually I'm going to sit down and watch all of them, hopefully before Part 3 comes out, which will be when about? Bill or Connie, because I know you two will know.
Yeah, it comes out October 10th in the theaters.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right,
so
got my
we're
ticket
almost
for it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already got my ticket
Okay.
for it already.
Yeah. Well, at least that's when I'm going to go see the double features of the 2 and 3 back to back. So
Ooh.
yeah.
So,
So-
we got Mark who took a nap in the middle of the stream,
Well, oh, thank you.
and
Thank
then
you.
well, you kept it playing and you're back, so I'd say yeah. And Darth Plato says Asians are considered white adjacent. Well, from what I've
Sadly,
seen,
now, yeah.
so are Latinos. So it all depends on who they want to be the oppressor and who they want to hold up as the oppressed.
John Doe Juggalo saying same. I need to watch all the art movies too. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get caught up.
Yeah, they've already said that they're making a part 4. It's like,
Oh.
really? This is what's not even hit the
This
theaters,
could be-
and they're doing a part 4.
I
It's
haven't
like,
seen a
really?
single one.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. So we're going to see like Terrifier 12 or something. Is this,
I
where
don't
they're
know.
going with this?
I don't know. I don't know if it will go that far.
So
I
so
doubt it
have
either.
you seen the second one previous to this, Bill?
Yeah.
Same
Why
here.
was
Yeah.
it Why was it 2.5 hours? Because that
I don't
seems
think it was-
long for a horror film.
I don't think it was 2.5 hours. I think it was.
Well, that's why I heard. That's why it's one of the reasons why I didn't rush out and see it right away. Because to me, it's it's horror movie, hour and a half, hour 40 max. 2.5. I think you're pushing it. Or 220 or however long it was, but still, just to me, that seemed long. I mean, there might be
It was
a story reason for it.
It was 2 hours and it was 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Oh.
But it goes by quick. It really does.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point to where I'm one of these 2 hour, no longer than 2 hours kind of people.
You're getting old.
Yeah, I can be
We're
that
getting
some way.
old.
But
Yeah, I
if it
think
goes
that's
fast.
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were Bill and I. We did the Outlaw Josie Wales for Western Cinema today, and
Yeah.
we'd come across this this item of trivia where they did a test screening of it for the studio heads. One of which was David Geffen. And David Geffen wanted Clint Eastwood to take 45 minutes off of the film. And this is like a 2 hour, 15-minute movie, all told. And David Geffen said, I want take 45 minutes off of it. And Clint Eastwood said, okay, well, here's the film. You cut it down I'm going to go across the street to Paramount. You know, so that was his answer. And but the thing that I thought was really funny after hearing that is the year that Eastwood was the head of the grand jury at the Cannes Film Festival. This was like, I think 93, 94, something like that. And he said, I now want to go back and cut 10 minutes off of all of my movies. Because he had sat through all of those movies during that festival. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you know, every movie is as long as it needs to be. You know, there was a quote, I think it was Roger Ebert, who said, no good movie is too long and no bad movie is short enough. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. Let's see. Darth Plato says, saw Josie Wells the other day. It's a good movie. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was better. Well, you're in luck because we're doing the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly next week.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
So stay tuned. That's going to be a fun one. And thank you to the Clue channel for the $20 super chat. Salute to the Midnight Mafia.
Nice.
Thank you. All right.
I like that title.
Let's see. Indeed. Yeah. Why not? What you do is work you. We appreciate it.
Who here has seen the Beetlejuice film? That film was. I liked it.
I liked it. Yeah, I mean, I like the first one
It
better.
was short and sweet. Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it.
I'm planning on seeing it here.
Oh, you definitely should. I highly recommend it. I enjoyed it.
That's good. I remember seeing the original on the theater.
Yeah.
It didn't need Alec Baldwin. It didn't need those.
No.
Beetlejuice isn't in it that much, but when he is in it, he's brilliant. And it's a good sequel. It was very enjoyable, very Halloweenish, and William Dafoe was amazing in it. We're going to see William Dafoe later this week in To Live and Die in L.A. on Thursday.
Yeah. Yep. Thursday.
Yeah.
Tommy is saying that he was surprised that the Penguin on Max was okay.
Yeah, I've been hearing some good things about that. I just might break down and give that a look.
Likewise.
Yeah, sorry, Sashi. I'm getting tired. I'm getting to where I'm quoting Billy Idol. I'm sorry, guys. I probably better get going.
Okay.
Oh, no. They're dropping like flies over here.
Oh, no.
Dropping like flies.
All right. So, Curtis, what's coming up for your channel?
Well, on Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a post about a little bit about the politics, but mainly just about the event that a singer has put together a comedic song about Trump's thing about they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. And I guess that's actually making quite a lot of money for some of the animal shelters. So I'm going to be talking about that. And then Thursday, I'll do something. I haven't determined yet what the topic will be. And then Saturday, I will finish up with some more Superman cartoons for my Saturday morning cartoons. So that's it. And evening to you, Frosty B. Rock's Insights. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to go here in a bit.
Yeah.
A new name. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the show.
Frosty B. Rocks is good people.
Oh, right on. Cool. All
You-
right.
All right. I will see you all later. Have a great stream. I'll leave it on in the background.
Take
Good night.
Later,
Good
Chris.
night.
Take care.
Blogger.
Love you guys.
Yeah, Netter pointed out that the person that did that parody is Kifness, and definitely you should check out his channel in general. He's got a lot of great music on his channel, in a similar vein to that eating the dogs, eating the cats thing. In fact, he samples some of his own previous works because he uses the cats, and they make certain sounds that he kind of puts to melody, and it's really, what he does is really, really good stuff. And I definitely agree with Darth Plato. Penguin is fruit from the poisonous tree. I have not liked. I did not like the Batman, the sparkly bat. I don't like anything in that universe. And honestly, I never did like the Snyderverse. I can agree that the casting for Wonder Woman and for Superman were good. That's about it.
But, when it does come to the Batman, Colin Farrell was the best part of that film. So on that basis, I might be willing. And I'm not saying I'm going to watch it past episode 1, and I'm not saying I'm going to watch it anytime soon. I'm just saying that if and when I watch it, it will be to form my own personal opinion. Period. I might see it and just decide, one episode and done, or I might. One thing that I have kind of changed my mind about, is that I don't really look at how I rate movies much differently, except to say, like I said, what I say, wait for streaming or not. That's the only place I've really changed. But when it comes to a series, and I'm somebody who would give a show 5 or 6 episodes before I decided if I liked it or not. Now I go on an episode by episode basis, especially when it comes for a show that's on commercial television. If you're going to ask me to make a commitment of what could be years, better be brilliant out of the gate, and you better keep that quality up throughout, or else I'm just going to be gone.
Well, because the last thing we want is to start liking a show and then have it die after 2 seasons.
Oh, you're not going to let me forget that, are you?
In fairness, that wasn't the only example. I mean, there have been plenty of others.
True.
Sarah Connor Chronicles, what I was just talking about a couple weeks ago,
Technically, Twin Peaks ended on a cliffhanger back in the day. Then we got this third season.
Did too. Dollhouse. Well, okay, anything Joss Whedon ever touched. Well, no, I take that back because Buffy definitely
Buffy got an ending, yeah.
Even Angel kind of was cut a little short. It ended on a cliffhanger. At least he's got the decency to end his stories with a comic book story or something.
Right.
The Batman and Penguin were the Matt Reeves Batman. It was that, which I guess is part of the confusion, having that and the Snyderverse going on at the same time. And hello to
Gary
this
Ambrosia.
week's Thursday Things guests, Gary Ambrosia.
Yes.
Hey,
So
Gary.
looking forward to hanging out with you on Netter's channel on Thursday. Definitely. been talking you up for a couple weeks now. So it's gonna have to be great. We don't want to let people down. No, you're great people. I'm so looking forward to it. I really, really am.
Yeah.
But yeah, and see, that's the other thing too. We do so many streams. I'm at the point where when do I have time to go to the movies these days? I'm too busy streaming.
That's true too.
I mean, I'm lucky. Netter and I work from home. That saves us the commute. Otherwise, gosh, I have to get home. I need to get ready for the next stream. It's yow. I find myself asking if I have. Yeah. There is the cost these days too.
Yeah.
And that's part of, and that's another part of, if it's on streaming, you don't feel like you're losing any money if you check it out and don't like it. If you go to a film, and in my case it would be me and Netter, and then we get some concessions, and we're already in for like $30. And if we don't like the movie, that's 30 wasted bucks. Now, of course, Netter would be the first one to say, "Oh, but I got to spend time with you." Yeah, well, you could have spent time with me at home watching something we actually enjoyed for free. It is getting expensive these days. And this is the other problem with when the economy starts getting bad. People start looking at films and entertainment and say, you know what? If I got a choice between food and medicine and paying the rent, and that, we got to make our choices. I don't need that to live. And especially like I'm always saying about owning a lot of physical media, I've got more DVDs on my shelf than I could probably watch before I die. So if I didn't have the money to stream or to internet or to go to the theater, I would still have enough entertainment for the rest of my life. Yeah, I actually, collectible popcorn buckets. Yeah. Although Dune, I don't know what they were thinking.
And theaters finding a way to make extra money, but the cost is about out there. Yeah, I mean that's another thing. And
here's the other thing: the movies, the theaters are keeping themselves alive by basically doing what I just said. They're taking old films and re-showing them because no one wants to see the new crap. They'd rather see the old crap. Yeah, I always finish popcorn. Usually I do too. I don't know about you guys, but I like popcorn the next day. When I guess it's when it's cold and stale. I kind of like that.
Has a better taste to it.
I think so, yeah. There are times I will make popcorn early in the day and then just leave it and then eat it in the evening.
Nothing wrong with that.
I may do that tomorrow.
When I see the movies in the theater, I usually go on the $5 days. Like at Regal on Tuesdays and Atlas on Mondays. It's cheaper all day.
I have heard other people say that they put M&Ms in their popcorn. I've never done that, but I understand the idea.
Same with nuts, too.
But do you put crushed Oreos in chili?
I've never even heard of that.
No one gets that reference. Okay, moving on.
Never.
Lethal Weapon 2. There's a line. This is
No. Don't know it.
he takes the woman back to his trailer, right? And he says he goes into this whole spiel about being a gourmet chef.
Uh-huh.
And he says, "Well, I'm not really a gourmet chef. All I know how to do is make chili. Would that be with or without crushed Oreos?"
That is
It's not
funny.
that's where you're
I just-
getting at.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when I used to eat fast food, I'd go to Wendy's and get a Frosty, and I would either eat the Frosty with the chili crackers or with French fries. You're out of here, Mark. You're out. You're
Yeah,
out.
you just-
Out of here.
Ooh. When I was growing up,
I can see that one, Darth. Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
when I was younger, my parents said I would put mustard in with the butter and mix our popcorn up with it.
See, I've had a lot of different kinds of flavored popcorns, and I guess I could kind of see that. You know, there's all different kinds of ways to do a cheese flavor. A lot of sweet types of popcorn, you know. Yeah. Beer and popcorn. Yeah, sometimes that's inevitable,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not. Yeah, one of the stops we had to make today, I had to stop at Benny's to get my booze, and we bought a lot, and not a single one of them was any kind of beer. Netter asked me if I wanted any Guinness, and I'm like, nah, it's not cold enough for that yet. Yeah, garlic powder on popcorn. Yeah. And Parmesan cheese.
Done that before.
Have you ever tried drinking a soda through a Twizzler? That's fun sometimes.
Yeah.
You end up with like a strawberry fizz in your mouth.
Yeah, I've done that several times. It's actually quite good. Make a straw out of licorice.
You ever snorted Coke through a Twizzler?
No. No.
I'm not
Oh.
saying I have.
Next thing you're gonna see, we're gonna be snorting Pop Rocks.
But I'll make that to put a checklist to my bucket list of things to do.
Oh, I haven't had Pixie Sticks in years. I love Pixie Sticks. I love Pixie Sticks.
Too much sugar for me on that one.
I don't usually have any I'm not big on sweets anymore. So yeah, I think some Pixie Sticks might be in order sometime soon.
All right. Well, I think it's about time to start with that. It's about that time.
Okay.
I'm going to go around the horn and see what we have coming up on our respective channels. Connie, what is next for Fluff Check Productions?
Well, I'm trying to get this one video going for it. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it up this week. I'll be starting the Halloween movie nights on Wednesdays and Fridays. So that's it for me
Cool.
right now.
Bill.
Well, I may do a couple live streams between here now on maybe Monday and Tuesday, but on Wednesday and definitely Thursday would be Action Theater with To Live and Die in LA. And then I got Buckets of Blood Theater on Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to do Dead Alive this week, it live.
Hmm.
On the Saturday, gonna probably do some karaoke, see some more karaoke on Saturday, and then on Sunday, gonna be doing the Jets Broncos game early in the morning. It's early in the morning for me. It's 10 a.m. in the morning my time, but it's 1 p.m. for those on the East Coast. And then directly after that, might have to push out or the good, the bad, the ugly just a little bit. But right after that, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly from Clint Eastwood. Sergio Leone's classic, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. So yeah.
All right. Troy.
Yeah, so I will be doing a bit of a James Earl Jones tribute later tonight, Monday night at the movies, starting at 8 Central, 9 Eastern with Field of Dreams, followed by Soul Man. That's tomorrow night. Tuesday night, I'll be hanging out with you live from Sparkwood and 21, followed thereafter by the new Last Call Presents Blake 7, Episode 2, Spacefall. Yeah, I got a lot of great positives about the premiere episode, so hoping you guys are along for the ride on that one. Then Thursday, Netters Network with Gary Ambrosia on Netters Network. And then Friday, very special last call for me, 9 Central, 10 Eastern on my channel. I will be having a very special author guest, Chad Bednar, the author of Keeper of the Sins, the story of a vampire that works for the Vatican. Books 1 and 2 are already out. And I understand part 3 is in the pipeline. We'll find out when to expect that and what other books he has in the hopper. And then, of course, Saturday, Netters Network Retro Cinema, 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Eight-Legged Freaks. Haven't seen that one in a while. So there you go.
That's got a younger Scarlett Johansson in it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't remember, but because I know I've seen the movie, but we'll see. And that's the week for me.
Parts of it were filmed in a Arizona mall that got torn down and got made into a Walmart.
I wonder if it was filmed near to where they filmed the Wraith, which we just saw last night on Big Al Presents. Also filmed in Arizona, I believe.
I just noticed your avatar as Pinhead. I love that. I love that.
I did that because you had the movies. Yeah, I did that because of yours. I'll retire it for a couple weeks until we're into the Halloween season.
Yeah, it's cool. It's groovy. I like it.
It is.
We got such sights to show you.
Yep. Doug Bradley is the Hell Priest.
Yeah. No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
Jesus wept.
Yeah,
you tell the patrons who come to haunted house, like your local haunted house, you tell that dialogue to people, and it really creeps them out. It really does, especially when they don't know what it's from. Oh, I love doing that.
I think we really missed out when we didn't get the Freddy versus Jason versus Pinhead. The follow up that.
Wait, don't wait. There might do a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash versus Eve.
That would be cool too.
There's a lot of crossovers that we could do that, that had already been done in comic books. Yeah.
Well, that brings things on over to me. What do I have coming up? Push the right button. No, I had
We've got several stuff coming up.
everything up here.
What you talking about, Willis?
All right. So Tuesday, of course, live from Sparkwind 21, where Troy Nutter and H. Boomer are going to be joining me as we watch part 13 of The Return. Thursday, as Bill mentioned, I'll be joining him for Action Theater Thursday at 4:30. The film will be To Live and Die in LA. I will be joining Big Al Presents. No, wait a minute. Yeah. Well, later that night, after Action Theater, 11:30, the weekend update. Friday, I'll be joining Big Al Presents for Films with Friends, and we're going to be watching Madman from 1982. Then, of course, Western Cinema Presents on Sunday, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And the Monday after that will be the next Mystery Movie Night podcast.
Groovy.
So that will be it for me. And hello to Daniel's Hot Topics.
Hey, Daniel.
So I wish we got a Freddy versus Jason sequel. If it had Kane Hodder in it, yeah, I'd be all for it. And good night, John. All right.
Good night, John.
Night.
Right. So, any last words before we wrap it up?
Farfignugan.
Good enough for me.
Be excellent to one another. Be excellent to one another. And the spook season is upon us. Yeah, boils and ghouls. Get your spooks out, because it's here.
All right. Wait. That's not the usual music.
No, it's not.
Oh, the hell with it. We'll go with it anyway. I would like to thank everyone who joined us on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Everyone who joined us here in the live chat. Everyone who was lurking, because there's always one or two, which is perfectly fine. You do not have to engage in the chat. Just as long as you enjoy the show, hit the like, share out the stream. And if you are new and you like what you see, please subscribe. I'm 23 away from 2,800. And I wouldn't mind getting there this week.
You can do it.
You do it. And hello to Jonathan
You can do
Conroy,
it.
joining us right at the end. So for Sin's Corner, the Tired Midnight Blogger, Fluff Chick Productions, Outlaw Bill, and last call, Troy Pacelli. From HQ, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Because this is how we win.
Much love and peace.